if you want something, you first have to identify where is the intention coming from. Is it coming from your ego, your mind, your personality, or is it coming from your heart, your soul? So it's really important that we come into our hearts first. You can have all the great strategies, all the great tools and skills, but if it's not coming from your core identity, you will not follow through when it gets challenging and tough.
What I'm hearing here, people, is pretty simple. We think that we just think with our brains, and our brains are the ones that tell us exactly what to do, make all the decisions. But if we forget to follow our heart, which is actually a more powerful muscle that radiates even more energy than the brain itself, as I believe the brain is really like a big organic hard drive, okay? You can hear your voice in your head, but is it your heart that is telling your head what to think, or is it just your confused mind that is babbling off these words that only you can hear and that you follow and that will really give you your destiny, whereas following your heart will always give you the truth?
And I will tell you why the heart is so powerful. And I know this from the research from the HeartMath Institute. The heart has an electromagnetic field that is 5,000 times bigger than the electromagnetic field
of the brain. Listen to this, people.
This is really your real power source. And the other thing and this is also research, scientific research, is that when we are in a state of heart coherence, and they can measure this, a state of heart coherence is a state where we experience love, compassion, gratitude, appreciation. Then the heart, and there's actually a brain in the brain in the heart is sending signals to this brain here, and it opens up our brain, and the left and the right brain start to work together more, and we use more of our brain capacity.
Harmony.
So we become more intelligent when we are experiencing love and happiness, because we use more of our brain capacity, and it makes more sense, because we all know that when we are fearful, angry, stressed, that we become more stupid.
There's so many people that base their first thoughts on fears for their jobs, for their relationships, and for whatnot. And it doesn't have to be that way, because your heart actually has the answer. You just have to learn how to follow it. That's what's really amazing about the stories and the examples. I'm not going to spoil the mood of what happens in this. At the end of this video, I'll be leaving you the links that you need to go check so you can see the trailer and whatnot. But I want to talk to you right now about how amazing this movie is actually doing, because this movie came out how long ago now?
Last year, October.
Last year, October. And as you know, when something first comes out, it takes X amount of time before people all start to jump on board and people are kind of getting it, etc. But you, my friend, are getting a fantastic reaction around the whole entire planet. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's out in 80 countries now, the book and the film, 80 countries. My publisher here in Quebec is Très Daniel. In the US, it's Simon & Schuster. It's out in Japan, South Korea, Russia. It's been number one in several countries. And I'm just traveling the world, and everywhere I see that people are thirsty for this information. People, all the screenings I do are just sold out, and people want to come back. Why? Because when you get to experience this with community, it amplifies the heart field that we experience, and people are just in their heart. People are just so happy. People feel connected. We can only make a real connection with other people when we are in our hearts. If I would be speaking to you from my brain, from my mind, and you would be speaking to me from our mind, we would be like two robots speaking to each other. And
it's bumper car stuff,
And we would not make a real connection. Real connection is here. Real connection comes when you speak from heart to heart. There's a saying in the Torah, words that come from the heart touch the heart. And I really believe that people are thirsty for heart-centered living, because that's living from your core identity. One of the speakers in the film gave me this example. If you are on a boat on a river, and if you are the mind, and the mind can only see the next bend, the next turn on the river. But if you are the heart, you can see the whole river from source to sea. But we don't trust the heart, because we are not taught how to trust it. And I think we can only learn to trust the heart when we start experimenting with it. Every time when you have to make a decision, you can look at all the pros and all the cons. And, it's very important to take into account, what your mind says. But it's also very important to listen to your heart. And if you make a decision, and we have to make decisions all day, small decisions and big decisions, you can feel and ask, what is the aliveness in my heart telling me? And when I go left, how does that feel? And when I go right, how does that feel? And the message of the film and the book is not, only follow your heart. The message is, let the heart be the master and let the mind be the servant. And what we do in our time, most of the people, through our education, they make the mind the master. And it's a very bad master, but it's a very good servant. The heart, our aliveness, our essence, our core identity should be the master. And the mind, we need it, but it should be the servant, because the mind is a very good servant, it's a very good executioner.
So now tell me, what does the future hold for my buddy Baptiste de Pape?
I will be touring and promoting the Power of the Heart until the end of 2016. And I hope to come back to Quebec in 2016. And I just want to create a ripple effect. I want everybody in the world to see this film, because I think that if people see it, they feel it, and it will create a shift. A lot of people tell me, I'm in the heart, but my husband is not there, or I am in the heart, but my friends are not there. I tell you, be the change you want to see in the world. That's what Gandhi said. If you want to change the world, don't say it was easier, wish you were better. You can only change the world if you start living it. And then you become an example for others. You can't force people into the heart, but you can live it, and people will feel it. And that's how you change the world. And you will say, after watching this film, reading the book, if they can do it, I can do it.
The Power of the Heart. It comes in a DVD and it comes in a book.
En français, l'infinie puissance du cœur.
En fait, ça vient aussi en anglais?
Oui, yes.
This is bilingual, people. So for all the people here in Quebec and in France and all you francophone speaking countries, you are going to love this. And let me tell you, see this little symbol over here? This glows in the dark, people. So when you're sitting there at night and you're thinking, I'm wondering if my heart, I should be listening to my heart or my mind. When you're going to look on your desktop over there, up on your little night table, you're going to see this thing glowing, and it's going to remind you about the power of your heart. And that's where you pick this up and you keep reading and manifest your own new future by listening to the right brain, people. Remember, we got more than one brain. This is the real power. Follow that power, and this brain will do exactly what this brain told it to do. And in the end, you will be so happy that you did that you won't believe it, because the power of the heart totally rocks, Man, I got to tell you, it's such an honor to see you again. And after all these years to actually get back together and do this, it's quite amazing. This is a small manifestation, because when I first came onto YouTube, it was because of a Ring video that I did. And this is how I found and connected with all these people in the first place. And this, getting together with Baptiste here, is exactly the same way. I have a friend of mine who's a monk who I hang out with. He's amazing. And his beautiful wife. And they were telling me, you gotta come see this amazing producer guy who put together this video called The Power of the Heart. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't make it that night. I really wish, but let me know how it was. And then a couple of days later, after he saw it, he told me, oh yeah, da-da-da-da-da. It was amazing. And then he mentions his name. How many people do you know called Baptiste de Pape? I don't know anybody except for this guy. So I said to myself, oh man, why don't I write him and tell him, great job? So he writes me back. 3 days later, I said, wow, I should do an interview with this guy for old time's sakes, and let's get on and let's make this happen. And then he writes me back today. He says, well, I'm still in Montreal. I'm coming over. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Confirmation that the power of following through. I followed my heart by listening to my monk friend, following up by calling him. He winds up coming here, telling me about his wonderful movie and his experiences, confirming to me the power of the heart. One last thing. Yeah. My monk friend and his wife, Amelie, are huge fans of what you did.
Oh, thank you.
Huge. Okay.
Richard and Amelie, thank you so much for mentioning the film and my name to this guy here. And I want to say, you all are part of my heart, and you live in my heart. And I always say to people, love is the way, and we have to, love everything that gets in the way, because love is the way. So we are here and we're all in this together, and I just thank you because you are a part of me. Thank you so much for mentioning me to this guy.
Why don't you leave us with the websites and stuff that people could go find
Yes.
your amazing trailer and whatnot?
If you like the film, go to our Facebook page. For the Francophone, it's L'infinie puissance du cœur. And for the English-speaking crowd, it is The Power of the Heart. And you will recognize us because of the blue vignette. And if you like our film, share the trailer. You can find it on YouTube. It's The Power of the Heart. And share it on Facebook and on social media with your friends. And thank you so much for watching the show.
You guys totally rock, and you know it. Power of the Heart. All that to you. Make it happen.
You are on the Momozone.
He said it.
Oh, great pen.